here. I know we're doing some Christmas wreaths kind of late. This is the red truck wreath. There was a kit for this. I hope everybody got their kit. I ran out of wreath forms. I'm so sorry. I couldn't send everybody a wreath form, but I totally ran out.
Hey, much of my stuff.
But next year, this was the first year I offered kits. It was kind of something new.
Oh,
and
yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
realize.
Okay.
Everybody here, just to kind of cut down the background noise. If you guys have been with me for a while, you know this was the first year that I offered kits. And I didn't really realize how popular they were going to be. Now, I don't have a warehouse full of supplies. I don't have employees helping me. It's just me. So it was a lot of work. But I think next year, hi, Mimi. I think next year, you know, I'm just going to start a lot earlier because I really, you know, I want to get our Christmas stuff done, you know, end of November, early December. Now, I know a lot of people still get requests for Christmas wreaths later in the, you know, later in the season. I keep my Christmas wreaths up all through January. I take my tree down, I take everything else down, but I leave my wreaths up all through January because I don't like to take everything down because then it just looks too depressing in my house. So I keep my wreaths up, my Christmas wreaths up all of January just because, you know, I want to keep some decoration up so it doesn't look so drab in my house. I totally over decorate for Christmas. And let me show you guys my tree. Let's go for a walk. I'll show you guys my tree. We're going to walk through my house. We've never done this before. I totally over decorate for Christmas. I put a lot of stuff up. So it's kind of drab when I take everything down. It's going to be kind of dark in here. But I'm going to show you guys my tree. My doggie's sleeping in her little, I got my doggie her little hut now. She's got her little playpen that she sleeps in. Oh, I don't want to wake her up. Well, but there's my tree. I'll show you guys my tree. And I've got some other decorations up, and I've got, you know, some stuff.
Pretty. It's beautiful.
Some of the stuff I've had like forever, like that ho 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 sign. I've had that like forever. I hang that every year. And I've got my hutch over here in the corner, and I've got my little tree up there, and all my stuff. And there's my candy cane. Where's my candy cane? Right there. This is the gingerbread wreath I made last year that I really don't want to sell because I love it. But I thought I would just take you guys on a tour of my house real quick here. I've got some stuff in my kitchen, but like I've got one wreath over here on the wall, and I've got my little Christmas tree on the door. So I don't think I ever took you guys on a tour of my house before. That's a first. Wasn't that exciting? Wasn't that exciting? So I'm getting there. I just have not bought one single Christmas present yet. I'll be honest with you about that. I'm going to go shopping this week. So I really only buy for my kids anyway. I have my kids and I buy for my sister. I don't really have a huge extended family. So I don't really have a ton of people to buy for. So Linda's all relaxed. She's laying back and chilling, and I muted everybody, so nobody's going to be able to talk unless you unmute yourself. Sorry. Okay. If you have never made a wreath before, which I'm thinking all you guys have made wreaths before, you're all not too new, but you know how I put my ties on. I have a video that I've posted a couple of times, but I just do 10 on the outside. This is the Dollar Tree form. I like to wrap them around both wires of the form, and I like these fuzzy ones. If you buy the Dollar Tree or the Tinsley ones, they tend to slide. I pull these really super tight so they don't slide. Or you're going to have to use glue, and that just makes a big mess. So 10 on the outside, they're about 4 inches apart. If you want to get your tape measure out, you can. I kind of just eyeball it, and we've got 8 on the inside, and that makes, you've got good coverage that way. This is my sign. The sign that was in the wreath was no longer available. The wreath, the picture that I showed It was from Trendy Tree, or I think somebody got some, a friend of mine had the one that was in the wreath that I posted. I can't remember where she said she got it, somewhere down south, but I could not find it. So we got a bunch of red truck signs from Personally Yours, Personal Lee, Lee, Yours. She's got an Etsy shop. She's got great signs. They're very lightweight. This was only, I think, like 10 bucks. Different sizes. There was a bunch of different themes. And like I said, quite a few of you ordered the kit. And you each got a different sign. And some of you got the same one that I did. And let's see, where's my mesh? I love this table. I really need to use this table more often. I'm going to be using 10-inch mesh. A pretty red snowball mesh. And this I could not find in the snowball. This, you're going to see the difference. This is what a snowdrift mesh is. It's just a solid line of the white instead of the little balls. This is snowball. This is snowdrift. That's the only difference. And I was able to use the wood burning tool to cut this, but this is a jute mesh, meaning this has got burlap in it. You cannot use the wood burning tool. And because I'm crazy insane about frays, I take my scissors and I do it by hand so I can cut between the lines. So it minimizes the frays, but you don't have to do that. You can use your rotary cutter, but I just don't like frays. So that's how I cut my jute mesh. These are 18-inch pieces. If you want to make the most out of your roll of mesh, if you've got 30 feet and 10-inch rolls of mesh come in 30 feet. So ideally, you should be able to get 18 20-inch pieces out of one roll of 10-inch mesh, which would give you enough to put one ruffle per tie. However, the reason why I cut mine at 18 is because you're going to have a little bit of waste. You're going to cut a little bit off the end to get the rough edge off. And I don't, when I measure quickly. So I'm not going to, in a perfect world, you can get 18, 20-inch pieces, but you're going to have some waste. So it's better just to do it at 18 or even 19 inches. So you're going to get, you're probably going to have a couple of pieces left over, maybe one or two. But what I wanted to do was I wanted to be able to put one of this color and one of this color per tie and alternate them. So I'll put red on the bottom for one and then the tan on top and then just alternate it. So you get a nice mix of colors. Here's our red truck ribbon. I did post in the group quite a few times for a while now where you can find this ribbon. I actually found some at Big Lots, but the ribbon that I got for the kits came from, I couldn't find it at Craft Outlet. They were sold out. This stuff sells out really quick. You want to get it early. There's a couple of different kinds of the red truck ribbon. This kind actually has little snowflakes on it and little sparklies, but you can get a different red truck ribbon that is a little plainer. I think, like I said, I think I ended up getting a 50-yard roll of this from Etsy for the kits. And this is really pretty. This is actually a Sam's Club ribbon that someone sent me because I don't have a Sam's Club near me. This is another 2.5-inch. And then the buffalo plaid ribbon, which also sells out very, very quickly. This is a 1.5-inch, but I know that I saw 2.5-inch at my Dollar General a couple of months ago. I'm not quite sure. It's late in the season, ladies. I know we're doing wreaths late, Christmas wreaths late. And this came from Craft Outlet. This is another 2.5-inch. So I think we actually have 3 2.5 and 1 1.5, and I usually don't like to do that. I usually like to do 2 2.5 and 2 1.5. So yeah, so I don't know how that happened, but we have 3 2.5 and 1 1.5. So we're gonna make it work. So my brain today. How's everybody doing? How's everybody's brain? I have Christmas frenzy on the brain. So let's get started. I like to lay my mesh this way first and just fold down the edge a little bit. And then I flip it over and just start ruffling. We've done ruffle wreaths many, many times. It is One of my favorites, and then I'll go ahead and I'll just fold the edge over here just to get that cut edge folded under. And you have your nice ruffle here. I'm going to put my first piece parallel to the wreath form on the outside. I just love ruffles. Somebody needs to invent a new method for mesh because I want to try something new. You can do the woodland ruffle with 21 inch. I think I said that in the last video that I recorded. I think it's actually called a poofle, which I would think would be a combination of a poof and a ruffle. So we may try that. So now I'm going to take my red piece and I'm going to crisscross it over the tan piece. And I'm going to go this way. You don't have to open up your tie again because it's long enough where you're going to have enough left over for your ribbons. So I have a different view from my camera this time. I'm going to move my wreath form over because I have a lot of room on my table here. So then you just straighten it out a little bit. And that's it. So that's how it's going to look. You're just going to alternate. So the next one now I'm going to do red and then I'll do tan on the top. I was actually going to start this a little earlier. I was going to maybe do half my wreath form because it seems like putting the mesh on is kind of the time-consuming part. But so I think I want to do a class on the poofle. That's what it's called, the woodland poofle. So I got to figure out, maybe we'll do that for our St. Patrick's wreath because we are going to do a St. Patrick's Day wreath. You guys can unmute yourself if you want to talk. I just muted you because somebody had a TV on or something and it was a little bit loud. I can unmute you if you guys feel like talking, if you feel like chatting about anything. So I'm not the only one talking here. Is anybody baking any cookies this week? Or I'm waiting for my daughter to get home and then we're going to bake. So, because they still like to make the cutout cookies. Even though they're in their 20s, they still like to make those. And I think we may actually even use this table for our cookie baking table because it's so nice and big. So I'm going to put this tan one on the top of the red one now, just like I did the first one. I love the snowball and the snowdrift mesh. I just think it's so pretty. I'm going to keep this on camera here. I keep pulling it off camera and you can't see it because my camera's on the other side of the table this time. Usually it's on this side of the table. I moved it over here just to be different. So let me think for a second here. Now I got to start with this one now. I still get frays with this jute mesh. You can see I'm kind of pulling them off. It just does that. But like I said, by folding the end under like that, and once you put it on, try not to mess with it too much because that's what's going to cause more frays. But this stuff is good quality. It doesn't fray that bad. I don't know if you can find this snowball mesh in the stores. I got this from Craft Outlet. Like I pretty much get a lot of my stuff from Craft Outlet. Ladies, if you haven't bought your contest entries yet, we're giving away 3 $250 shopping gift cards to Craft Outlet. So the entries are $10 each, and that's going to be, I'll probably do that drawing New Year's Day. So, and you know, the nice thing about Craft Outlet too, which I didn't know, is that for every $1 you spend there, you get 5 reward points. And because I ordered a lot of the stuff, or most of the stuff for the kits from Craft Outlet, like a month ago, I had $140 in reward points for free stuff. So, and then you get free shipping over $69. If anybody is not familiar with Craft Outlet, it's like where all the wreath makers go, or most of the wreath makers go to buy stuff if you don't have a wholesale license. And they have pretty neat stuff. I hope you guys enjoyed the tour of my house. I don't think I ever did that before. And it's dark in there now because my doggy's sleeping, my son's in his room. My daughter's on her way back from Binghamton. She went with some friends for the day. Binghamton's probably about 2 hours from here in New York State. She's never really home on the weekend. That's my younger daughter. I have a younger daughter, and then she's, let me think for a second, 94. She just turned 24. And my older daughter is 26, the one that's coming home from Colorado. My younger daughter's never really home on the weekend. She goes off with her friends and does stuff. She's talking about moving out to Colorado to live with my older daughter because she loves it out there. She's kind of, I don't know, not that she's afraid to do stuff, but she's just, I think she doesn't really want to leave my doggy because my doggy's old. My doggy's going to be 15. And, you know, not to be sad, but I'm not quite sure how much longer she's got because she does have diabetes, and I don't think she really wants to leave her just yet. Everybody tells me that, you know, you'll just know when, you know, your dog or your pet, when it's time. I don't really want to think about that, but, you know, you have to think about quality of life and everything. And she is blind, but she's still, you know, she's got a lot of energy for an old girl, you know. But the reason why I put her in that little doggy playpen is because she just wanders around, and when she's awake, she's never just chill. When she's awake, she's just wandering. And we're afraid she's going to hurt herself. She gets stuck under the hutch, or like now with the tree up, she gets under the tree and she gets tangled up in the tree stand, and we just don't want her to hurt herself. So we got this little puppy playpen or doggy playpen from Chewy. If you guys have pets, you know Chewy.com. They're great. They have everything for pets and food, and it got a lot of good reviews. So, and she seems to settle down quicker. Like at night, you know, senior dogs get dementia just like humans do. And if you've ever heard of something called sundowner syndrome in seniors, dogs get the same thing. They get very anxious at night. Some dogs, I should say. And it kind of helps her to settle down a little bit more being in that little hut. I call it her doggy hut. And she has her blankets in there. And so the only thing is my daughter, when she goes to bed, she takes her out because if she's got to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, you know, she'll wander into the kitchen and I can hear her and I can take her out. If she's stuck in there, you know. Anyway. Anybody else? Pat Salter is here. Reba's here. So if you're just starting out in wreath making, ruffles are so easy. It's like a no-fail. You know, you just pinch it together like a bow tie. That's all you do. And I'm just alternating, like I said. How pretty is that, though? Tell me that's not pretty. I love the snowball. I better plug in my battery, which I always forget to do. I love this table. I'm just going to start using this table again. I just have so much more room. All right, now where am I? I need the red. You don't have to use these colors. you know, any of my classes, you know, you can choose whatever colors that you want. If you don't even want to make a Christmas wreath, you know, just take 2 rolls of 10-inch mesh and cut them at 18 inches. You don't even have to use different colors. You can use the same color. My recommendation is to get it even in your hand. Like, make sure you've got even amounts on both sides before you lay it down. That way you're not pulling on it when you lay it down on your wreath form. I'm still pulling out frays. The jute mesh is fraying more. Yeah.
On this, on any mesh that has lines in it or has stripes in it, there's usually one that goes pretty much down the center.
Yeah.
So if you hit that line and you use that with a follow to ruffle with it.
Yeah, I try to do that, but sometimes I go so fast that I fall off track.
Okay. I was just telling for some of the newbies, that way.
Yeah,
it's a
it's
good way
helpful. Yeah, when you have the line, just try to follow the line. But sometimes I go fast and I fall off my track. But just look at it in your hand and make sure that it's even, you know, before you lay it down. That way you're not pulling on it. And what she means, so let me flip this over and pull this little piece off here. What she means is that this has got the lines on it. So there's 3 on this side, or 4 on this side, 4 on this side. I'll just follow the one up the middle. Just try to go slow. So I'm purposely going slow with this one. I'm going right up the middle. Ladies, I think it's about time we have a pro bow class. I know I had Regina Sellers on here and she did a video. And everybody always asks me, Christina, why don't you put bows on your wreaths? I'll tell you why. I'm not that good at it. And I do have a pro bow. But here's my feeling also. And this is the thing, you know, I'm here to teach you guys, and I know everybody is dying to make better bows, and they want to make bows. Some of you may already know how to make bows, but I feel like part of me thinks that everybody puts bows on their wreaths, and I don't want to be like everybody else. I want to do my own thing. Do you know what I mean? But I know also there's a lot of people out there that like bows on wreaths, so I think we're going to have to start doing bows on our wreaths, ladies. But I'll be honest with you, some people just go overboard with 3 or 4 bows on one wreath. I think that's too much. And also, I like to be able to see my mesh. This mesh is so pretty. And when you overload it with ribbon and bows, you can't see your mesh. And I'm thinking, what's the point, you know? What's the point of using a really pretty mesh if you cover it up with too much ribbon? So, anyway. I know a lot of wreath makers who don't, you know, necessarily use a lot of bows. Keep moving this over so you guys can see, and I have all this table space over here. Sometimes you get these pieces that come off the seamed edge, and they're not going to do anything if you pull them off. I saw that picture you posted of your mom, Gina, shopping. That was great. Where were you guys? Like JCPenney? I was trying to figure out where we were.
We were at Academy Sports.
Oh.
and she was just really tired. She's had that double pneumonia, and she's just really tired. So when we went in, I got the wheelchair, and she had both of our purses in her lap, and I'm pushing her around, and we're just loading her up. And I put the last on her; it was up to her chin.
She was like your little shopping cart.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't get a shopping buggy and push her in the wheelchair.
Right.
So I took that picture because I thought it was absolutely hilarious.
That was cute. And I forget that you guys in the South call them buggies. I call them cart. We call them carts up here in the North.
I know they're buggies.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's a good sport. So.
She looks so much like you.
Yeah. We get that all the time. And there's no denying that I'm her daughter.
What's that?
There's no denying I'm her daughter.
All right, let's see. We're almost done with the outside here. Oops. I was watching National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation earlier when I was eating my dinner. That movie still makes me laugh. I don't even know if that was that the 80s. I think that was the 80s. I was supposed to go see It's a Wonderful Life. We have an old-fashioned theater downtown here, and they show it every year. That's got to be my favorite Christmas movie. And I know everybody talks about White Christmas with Bing Crosby, but I don't know if any of you ladies have ever heard of a movie called Holiday Inn that also has Bing Crosby and Fred Astaire in it. I don't think Fred Astaire was in White Christmas though, but I love Holiday Inn. That's a great Christmas movie too, and he actually sings White Christmas in that one too. So. The only problem with It's a Wonderful Life is I always cry at the end. When he is on the bridge and he's saying, I want to live again, I want to live again, I just lose it. I just cry. So, and then of course we have a 24-hour marathon of A Christmas Story on here every year, starting Christmas Eve. So the kids and I watch that about 5 or 6 times. I still watch Charlie Brown Christmas. I don't care. I love that. I love Charlie Brown. Again, like I said, I'm just folding the edge over like that just to kind of hide the cut end there. It just helps a little bit. You could actually, those ornaments that are in the wreath picture, those are jute ball ornaments. They were really expensive. I was going to put those in the kits, but when I was shopping around for those, they were like $5 a piece. They were expensive. You can actually get just the styrofoam balls, and then all you have to buy, and I even have some here, is the jute cord. That's all that is. This is actually the same that's in here. It's just burlap. Lines of this running through here. And you just have to wrap your styrofoam ball in this, and you can make those ornaments that were in the wreath picture. That's all that is. That's all it was, ladies. But for some reason, they were expensive. You know, I didn't want to have to charge $70 a piece for the kits because of the ornaments. So We had snow here for Christmas, but then it all melted. Well, we're just getting rain today, so. And you can see I'm sort of not laying the ruffles down on top of each other. I'm sort of like pulling them up because you want them all to be facing up. There's the last piece that's going to go on the outside. And then we'll move to the inside. I'm just crisscrossing them. And that's the outside. Just trying to get them all spread out a little bit. There. Now we can move to the inside. So you can pretty much start wherever you want. Doesn't really matter. Try to put, like I try to get like, try to find a spot where I use red on the bottom, like over here. And then I'll go with my tan on the bottom so they're not, so the colors are sort of mixed nicely. I feel like I should be doing my ruffles closer to the camera. Let me switch these a little bit. Let me go over here so you guys can see what I'm doing a little bit better. I feel like I'm too far away from the camera. All right, let's see. Where do I want to start? I'll start over here. And I find that these ties, I got these from Hobby Lobby, I think. I got a pack of, I don't know, how big is this pack? Whoops. I got a huge pack for like $4. There's like 100 in here. But they're just nice. They're very strong. You can really pull on them. You know, they're the fuzzy kind. You can really pull on them and they don't break. And they don't slide. I hate that. I hate when I have my pipe cleaner and I go to add my mesh and it starts to slide. That makes me crazy. There we go. This is better. I'm a little bit closer. Where did I lay that one down now? Over here. You can really pull on these nice and tight, and they don't break. There. Let's see, now I need red. You got to be careful though, because sometimes your pipe cleaners get lost in all this mesh. There we go. And I think I skipped one with the elf wreath. I kind of missed one because there was just so much mesh on there. You can see how nice and full that gets. I need the tan now.
Christina,
Yeah.
when you tighten up your pipe cleaners, you're not tucking them in the back. You're just kind of still leaving them sticking up.
Yeah, because I'm gonna do ribbon. Once I put all my ribbon on, then I'll either cut them off or I'll tuck them around the back. So for now, I'm leaving them up until I'm done adding my ribbon. Now, typically I won't put ribbon in every tie on the inside, but I do put them on every tie on the outside because a lot of times the sign takes up room. And I know a lot of wreath makers, they put ribbon in every single tie and then they put their sign on top. I don't like to do that. I like to add my sign, I do my ribbon on the outside, and then whatever pipe cleaners aren't being covered by the sign or whatever centerpiece I have, I'll put ribbon in those, and I'll either cut down the ones that I didn't use, or I'll just tuck them around. But yeah,
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. You want to leave your pipe cleaners out until you're done adding your ribbon because you need those for your ribbon.
Okay.
That's what you're going to use to put your ribbon on. I can't believe I just realized that I had 3 2.5 inch and 1 1.5. I didn't even really thinking about it when I was cutting my ribbon today. But that's what I did. It doesn't matter. All right, where's my tie now? There it is. You can see as you get to the center of the roll, they're really curly. How gorgeous that is, though. I just love that. I would do ruffles for every wreath, but it would get really boring. We have to do another class on the little tiny poofs that are squished together, like 6 per section. That makes a really nice wreath, too. It gets so full on the top that I forget where I am here. Here we go. You probably could even get away with doing 1 per tie on the top because it just gets really, really full. As you can see, where am I here? There I am. Usually when I lay the first one down, I give it 2 good twists. Actually, I twist it. I guess I could say that I twist it twice each time. Really, really tight, though. Yeah, well, you'll have enough left over to put your, where the heck is my, oh, there it is. My red mesh on the floor. Don't be afraid to really yank on it. Can't do that with the Dollar Tree pipe cleaners. They'll snap. At least for me, they do. I gotta figure out where I'm gonna hang this wreath. I don't think I have any wall space left in my living room or in my house anywhere. Where's my pipe cleaner? There it is. I think I have 3 left. From what I can see. So like I said, it's important that when you're laying your ruffles down, when you're putting the one in the next tie, try not to squish the one down before it. Lift it up. So you're sort of putting it next to it, not really on top of it, if that makes sense. And this jute mesh is really thick. When I say jute mesh, I'm referring to the tan because it's got the jute, the burlap in it, which is jute. So there's actually a video by Trendy Tree. If you're new to wreath making and you're confused about all the different types of mesh that there is, and there's poly burlap, and there's wide foil, and there's regular metallic, and there's standard mesh, I can post that. I've posted it before. But it just covers all the different types of mesh that there are. There's fabric mesh, which is really nice to work with because it's a lot softer on your hands. It's not scratchy. And a lot of people like working with that. Doesn't fray as much either. Just trying to pull this red piece out because it got a little squished here. How many ties do we have left here in this big mess? Not that it's a mess, but you know what I mean. There's a lot of mesh here. I have 2 left on the inside. What color do I need now for the bottom? I need tan. Oh, Jamie left. She was here for a little while and she left. Really getting tight in here, but it's nice. I like that. This one seems to be a little longer on that side. Let me, yeah, that's all right. That's all right. One more piece here, or two more pieces, ladies. Just got to figure out where I am and what I need for the bottom. I think I need red on the bottom here. So you're going to have a couple pieces left. Now, if you want to maybe attach another pipe cleaner or two on the outside and put that mesh in there so you don't have any waste. But I don't really think I have any room. This is pretty full. You know, I don't like having leftover mesh though. This is really full. I can barely fit these last two pieces in here. But I'm gonna do it. So if you have a problem with wreaths, you know, a lot of times people don't like to use the poof because it doesn't really cover your wreath form that well. You will not have a problem with this method. It covers really, really well. You can't even tell that there's a hole in there in the middle. That's what my kids were asking me when I first started making wreaths. They're like, Mom, why isn't there supposed to be a hole in the middle? Like, where's the hole? It's there. There's a hole there, trust me. Last piece. Right there. I think that's where it goes. Hold on a minute here. No, that's not the right one. I already have two pieces on here. I was wondering if I could tell because the pipe cleaner felt really short. There we go. There's the one. I can tell by how much pipe cleaner I had left over that I was putting three pieces on that one. This is the one I want. There we go. Look at that, ladies. That's a nice full wreath. You can see why I don't really want to cover that up with too much ribbon because it's just so pretty. I know Mimi agrees with me. It's so pretty with the different colors. And let me get a drink. I was at the post office the other day mailing some wreath kits. And they know me over there now because I'm always over there. And the one girl said one of her customers was insulted because she needed to stop and take a drink of water. Oh, I know what happened. She said, I need a drink. And I think the customer thought she meant like alcohol. And then I was teasing her. I said, yeah, that's what you meant. You really wanted a drink. And everybody started laughing. So I feel so bad for them. They're so busy over there. Like the minute they open at 8 o'clock, there's like a line of people. Because I try to get over there right at 8 to mail my kits. So I don't have to wait in line. So I'm gonna put my sign right in the middle. I like my signs in the middle. So that's where I'm gonna put my sign. And like I said, I like to do my sign and then I do my ribbon. And if you've seen my classes, you know that I like to use these to put my sign on, the little cable tie mounts. You can get them at Walmart or online at Amazon. And they have little holes. You can see there's a little hole in the middle. So you can put your pipe cleaner through. And they're self-adhesive. If you want to get a little extra stickiness on there, you can put a little hot glue, not hot glue, but super glue is probably better. But on a light sign like this, I don't think you're going to have a problem with them coming off. Heavy signs, I'd put a little extra glue on there. Just one in each corner. I don't know I know Jane's front door decor puts holes. I don't think personally yours did. There's her There's her logo right there, if you can see that. Whoops. Personally yours. But if you wanted to use wire, Jane's Door Decor puts holes in her signs. You can thread wire through it if you want, but I'm just going to use pipe cleaners. And you don't have to go through all the way, just a little bit, just so you can twist it. These are great. I mean, before I started using these, I was using hot glue, and you know, even though I live in the north, they would still come off. The pipe cleaners would still come off. So these are a godsend. You can find them near the cable ties at Walmart. Lowe's has them. Amazon, you can get. We're just going to put that right in the middle. And I love the light signs because they're just so easy to. They're so easy to attach. Just kind of thread it right through your mesh. And don't wrap it too tight until you're sure it's where you want it. It was a very simple wreath, ladies. The elf wreath was a little bit challenging because it's when you're attaching a head and arms and legs, it can be a little bit, like I said, a little challenging. But these are easy. When you have a sign, you have mesh and a sign and ribbon, maybe a few ornaments. It's super, super easy. Look at that. Look how nice. It's like it's already centered. Didn't take much work at all. It's so light. If you wanted to put it off to the side, you can do it on the side. You can do it on the top. You can do it on the bottom. You know, wherever you want. Let me look at it real quick. I want to make sure that that's cute. All right, so now this is the boring part, watching me put all my ribbon on. And you kind of just have to figure out what you want to match with what. I can't believe I didn't get two 1.5, but that's okay. I'm gonna go with the 2.5. I think I'm gonna match this with this. Just kind of fold it in the middle. These are 12-inch pieces of ribbon. And I'm gonna go all the way around the outside. Try to find your ties.
Which two did you put together?
Huh?
Which two did you put together? Okay. You'll put the buffalo plaid with the truck.
Yep.
Okay.
You can do what you want, though.
Great minds think alike. That's
Is that what you're gonna do? And I like to let me get on this side so you guys can see. I like them to be going out. I feel like I'm not, because I have my camera on the other side of the table, I feel like I'm like off kilter here. Now, why doesn't this look right to me over here? It's not laying right. If you have a real fluffy wreath, sometimes your ribbon doesn't want to lay right. You have a lot of poofy mesh here. But since I don't have a 1.5 inch ribbon in here, I'm going to have to use another 2.5 for my bow tie, but that's okay. That'll be fine. Got to figure out which one I want to use now. And I forgot to cut extra at 13 inches, so I'm going to have to just take one of my dovetailed ones and make my bow tie out of that, but that'll work. It's a little bit more challenging to make your bow tie out of the 2.5, but you can still do it. I don't know where my brain was when I was cutting my ribbon, because usually I cut my bow ties at 13 inches. Now, Tanya, so I have a little bit left over here. I can either clip that off or just tuck it behind. And because it's red, you know, it kind of matches the ribbon and the mesh, so if it shows a little bit, that's okay. But I just kind of tucked it around behind, because I'm done now. I'm done with that. I don't need the pipe cleaner anymore. We're done with that little bundle. So that'll work. Ditto truck ribbon. I'm going to pair it with the buffalo plaid. Make sure that your trucks are going the same way. I'm not going to put my ribbon this way because I want my trucks to be right side up. Let me find my tie here. It's kind of buried. Yeah, I like 12 inches. 12 inches seems to be a good length where you have enough ribbon showing, but you also don't totally cover up your mesh. That's why I kind of settled on 12 inches. So now I have my extra pieces of the 1.5 cut at 13 inches. And I'll just make a bow tie out of that. Oh, my daughter's home. I heard my Santa jingle on the door. I have a little Santa hanging on the door and it just jingled. So there's another bundle here. Buffalo plaid sells out very quickly, I find. There. I'm just going to keep going around. That's it. Very easy. When you're pinching it in the middle, try to be careful, because if you have a good even pinch in the middle, then when you go to spread your ribbon out, it'll spread a lot easier for you, if that makes sense. Instead of just, you know, pinching all crazy. Or this mesh is sticking to me. I've said this before, but you'll know that there's going to be certain articles of clothing that you cannot wear when you're working with mesh, because it just grabs it and it will not let go. And you'll
And
find,
you have to wear a black t-shirt when you're working with snowdrift.
right. Do you have black on?
I have a
The little
snowdrift.
fuzzies come off. The little fuzzies. No, I don't have black on, but it's sticking. It's sticking to my sweatshirt. Just kind of wrap the rest of the pipe thin around the back so you can't see it, or you can snip it off. Whatever's clever. Just make sure that you tie it tight enough before you snip off the extra, or you're going to lose your ribbon. And you don't want to do that. I'll tell you, my dog is blind, but she's got the sharpest hearing in the world. I have to sneak in the kitchen and turn my Keurig on for my coffee, and she hears it every single morning. And I can't even get one sip of coffee in, and she's, hey, Mary, when did you pop in? I can't even get one sip of coffee in, and she's up and she's ready for the day. She can hear that coffee maker go on. She hears it. I should just keep my coffee maker in my room because I'm the only one that uses the Keurig. I get the weirdest friend requests. With people I have no idea. I think they're like robots or something. I get so many. That was just that noise that you just heard. That was a friend request popping through. And Tanya, always use wired ribbon. You're not going to be able to shape your ribbon if you have unwired ribbon. I think a lot of people who are just starting out wreath making made that mistake of buying, where the heck is my tie? Buying unwired ribbon, and it just doesn't lay right. Uh-oh, you know what happened? I think my tie came out. That's why I can't find it. Hold on. It came loose. Let me tie this back up again. There it is. And that happens sometimes. I might end up having to cut some more of this ribbon because I'm not sure if I'm going to have enough. I'm using it for the bow ties too. But this is a cute little way to add little bows without having to add a big bow. I just like the way it looks. And it helps to cover your pipe cleaner too. It just looks pretty. This buffalo plaid I have has actually got like a flannel feel to it. I don't think I put that in the kit, but I ran out and I had to order more. I do that a lot. I end up having enough for the kits and then I don't have any for myself. So I had to order more buffalo plaid for myself, and all I could find was this flannel. It's very soft. coming around here. I think I have like maybe 3 more ties on the outside. We're doing pretty good here. I don't know, ladies, I'm running out of things to say. Anybody else can jump in if you have anything exciting to say. Because this is just repetition right now. Going around all 10 of these ties on the outside, just alternating the different types of ribbon. I actually sort of get involved with what I'm doing here, and I almost sometimes forget that anybody's watching me, so I apologize. I'm just get like focused on what I'm doing here. All right, now where are we? Somebody had a really neat tip that I saw in my other group for storing wreaths. I don't know if you guys saw that, but she bought I think the 22 by 22 by 24-inch boxes from like Lowe's or Home Depot. And she got the wood dowels and sort of made shelves in the box. So meaning she would lay one wreath on the bottom, and then she put the wood dowels over the wreath and poked like little holes in the side of the box. So that sort of made like a shelf for the next wreath. So when she laid it down on top of it, it wouldn't squish the one below it. And she was able to get like 4 or 5 wreaths in one box, maybe 4. I thought that was a really good idea. So if you're looking for a way to store your wreaths that you haven't sold, or just store wreaths in general, that's a really good tip. I think I'm going to try that.
I'm sorry, I left and I missed what you were talking about, the wreath in the show.
Who's that?
Lori.
About storing them, you mean?
Yes.
Just someone posted in my other group just to get the large 22 by 22, I think by 24-inch tall boxes like from Lowe's or Home Depot. And we would lay one wreath in the bottom and then get wood dowels and like poke little holes in the side for the 2 dowels to lay across the wreath that she laid down.
Right.
And then it sort of made like a little shelf.
Oh,
To
okay.
put the next wreath on top, and she was able to fit, I think, like 4 or 5 wreaths in one box, which I thought was a really good idea. Instead of just stacking them in there on top of each other, the wood dowels sort of separated them.
Okay, well, that sounds pretty cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I should have saved the post so that I could have, posted the pictures, but I don't know where it went. I was going to save the post so I could show she had pictures posted. Colors do I need now? And it should work out where when you come around to the other side, you will not have two of the same type of ribbon next to each other, which is a no-no in my book. And because you have 10 ties, it just works out. With this next one, I'm going to have the buffalo plaid and the truck. And I'll have this one next to it, so it'll work out just fine. Look, you want to try to like curl your ribbon around so it's almost like hugging your wreath instead of just sticking straight up all crazy like. I'm going to have to cut some more of this ribbon. I'm not going to have enough. Not as easy to make bow ties out of the ribbon that you dovetailed, but I'm doing it. I should have just cut more, but I'm going to have to cut more now anyway. Where'd my other pipe cleaner go? There it is. It's all good. Last tie on the outside here. I know I have a lot more of that ribbon. I just have to figure out where it went. There it is. Without knocking over my huge piles of ribbon over here. Nope, it's going to be upside down. I got to turn it around because I want my trucks going the other way. There we go. That makes me happy. That's better. I might even need to cut more of the buffalo plaid too. We'll see. Now, I'm not going to put ribbon in every tie on the top, so. The outside is done, which is the most time-consuming part because you've got 10 ties. But I just like the way that looks. I like the way, I think I like this camera setup better too. I like the way it looks with all the ribbon framing the outside. So, I'm going to cut a few extra pieces of this because I know I'm going to run out. I only have one piece left that's cut here. And I'm going to plug the glue gun in because I think I might want to put a couple of ornaments in there. Doing pretty good time-wise. What time is it? 9:18? I think I need maybe like 3 or 4. Whoop, just dropped it. 3. If I told you guys how often I have to empty my vacuum cleaner because of all the mesh and sparkles and everything that I vacuum up in my craft room, because this is the only room in my house that's got carpeting. Everything else is hardwood, which I guess is a good thing because I think it would be a pain to have to sweep sparkles up. It's a lot easier to vacuum sparkles. I think anyway. Okay. So what I do is I kind of have to find my ties because they get buried here. So I've got one here. Now the ones that are under the sign, obviously I'm not going to be able to use because they're under the sign. I think I'll do this one. I think I've mentioned this to you guys before. When you're putting ribbon around the top or the inside, it's kind of hard to go all the way down to the bottom of the tie because then you're going to lose your ribbon. This is where you kind of have to be tricky with your hands. You just kind of go down like maybe halfway, because if you go all the way down to the bottom, you're not going to see your ribbon. It gets kind of like lost because you got a lot of mesh up here. And this is where I kind of spread my ribbon out a little bit. If it kind of goes over the edge of the sign, that's okay. You can see how it wants to like stick straight up because there's just, your ruffles are just so poofy. Now, I might just put an ornament there because I don't really have much pipe cleaner left on here to put a bow tie. So I may just stick an ornament there. Let me see what I have for ornaments. I only have about 10 zillion different ornaments here. Let's see. What do I have that I can use? Let me look in my closet there. Actually, you know what's really pretty is that's really pretty, but I have to, the design is on the side, so I don't know how well that would do. Let me see what else I have here. Maybe I'll just use one of these plain glittery ones. That'll look nice. So actually what you can even do is you can even take your little end here, your ornament where you would normally hang your ornament holder, and you can string it through your pipe cleaner and attach it that way without having to use hot glue. But I'm not quite sure how much pipe cleaner I have on here. That's why I'm not sure how easy it's going to be for me to do. Let me see. Just put the pipe cleaner right through the hole on the end, which it doesn't really want to seem to go through. So I think I'm just going to glue it.
Christina?
Yeah?
Does everybody pretty much use the plastic ornaments, or do you use the breakable ones?
No, get the shatterproof, yeah. I made the mistake one year of buying the glass ones, and that was not a good experience. Too much possibility or too much chance of breaking. Shatterproof is definitely the way to go. I'm just going to use a little glue because I don't really have enough pipe cleaner to string it through. And that looks nice there. All right, let's see what else. Where else I can put some ribbon here. This is kind of buried, so I think I'm just going to tuck this pipe cleaner along behind. It's so full on the top that it's kind of, like I said, that's why I don't put a lot of ribbon on the top. But there's a pipe cleaner there. I think I can put some ribbon there. There's the buffalo plaid and the truck over here.
Okay, Christina, I'm done with my ribbons. I'm going to go back and trim mine because the ones on the top section are a little bit long to me.
Okay.
But I've got to go buy some ornaments and some ribbon to make my bow ties with, so, or go out and look at my stash when I have the bow ties. But I'm out of here for tonight, so.
All right, my dear.
Fun, and you ladies have a great evening.
You too, Jean. I love you. Bye.
Love you too. Bye.
Bye.
You can see what I mean, how sometimes if you put the ribbon too far down, it gets kind of lost in the mesh because there's a lot of mesh up here. But there's enough to, I don't think I'm gonna, maybe I'll just put a tiny ornament in that one. But there's enough sticking out, and I kind of, you know, because it gets like buried. It's under the sign. There's enough tucking out here, though. I'm happy with that. But I think I'm going to put a smaller ornament in that spot. I know I have some tiny ones too, because I'm not going to put a bow tie there. I'll just put that little tiny one there. That'll work. That will work. Let's see here. I'm like freezing cold in my room all of a sudden, but I'll tell you something right now. I prefer to be cold while I'm making a wreath than too hot. It gets really hot in this room in the summer. I'm going to put one down here. I just found another pipe cleaner. I'll go back to this again. And I might be able to put a bow tie in this one. Let's see. Let's see how that works. Again, it's kind of tricky because I don't want to go all the way down the bottom of the pipe cleaner. And then I will not be able to see my ribbon. So maybe we'll just do another ornament. But I kind of just like to frame the sign. Maybe I can fit a bow tie in there. This piece is longer. I'm going to try to use this piece. This piece might be a little too long. Let me see how long this is. I think 13 inches is long enough. So let me trim that down a little bit. And then I can probably fit a bow tie in that one. This is a really pretty wreath. I like the colors. This is a bigger, typically this is how I make my bow ties. I make them at 13 inches. So it's a little bit bigger. Let's see if I can squeeze this in here. And a little bit of pipe cleaner. This is where it helps to have tiny hands. Which I don't know how tiny my hands are, but as long as you have a little bit left, you can twist in there. Yeah, it worked. I think I can fit one more over here.
It's very pretty.
Thank you so much. Who was that?
Lori,
Thanks, Lori.
you're welcome.
I'll stick this one over here if I can find a pipe cleaner. And all this mesh, there it is. All right, let me turn this around. Just be patient, you know what I mean? Just, because like I said, it's, your pipe cleaners get a little bit lost in the top. So just, you know what I've even done sometimes, and I'll show you a little trick. Hold on a second here, because I think I'm gonna do it with this one. I'll show you a little trick that I do sometimes. When I don't have enough pipe cleaner left to put ribbon on, I sort of make a little ribbon bundle with an extra pipe cleaner. Instead of using the one that's on there that I use to attach the mesh, I just make an extra one. Hold on a second here. I think I want to put a little bow tie with the Christmas ribbon, with the truck ribbon right there. But there's no way I'm going to be able to fit, because the pipe cleaners are way down in there. So what you can do, and I'm just letting this go right over the sign a little bit, it's, you know, looks nice. So take, I'm just going to use a piece of the 12-inch, and I just decided I'm going to do a bow tie with the truck. Maybe I'll even cut a longer piece. Do I have any more of this left? Let me see. I want to show you guys something that you can do. I want a 13-inch piece. I want a longer piece here. 13's upside down, but I can still see it. Okay. So I sort of cheat sometimes. When I make a bow tie out of the truck ribbon, and it worked out well, looks cute. Just get an extra pipe cleaner. And wrap it around, just like that. And just stick that right inside your mesh. So I'm gonna go right around this bundle that's already here. You're gonna have to kind of take your time. You're gonna want to feed it around the mesh here. Hold on, let me find where I'm at. But that way, if you don't have enough pipe cleaner to put a bow tie in, you sort of just make another one. You know what I might even do? Instead of trying to feed that through, I'll just glue it. I'm going to cheat. So leave a little bit on there. Make sure it's twisted tight enough. And just cut off the extra, because it's going to be kind of hard for me to try to feed that through, I think. So I think I'm just going to glue it. So I have my little bow. And I want to put that right in there. I'd have to reach up underneath and press it a little bit, and don't burn yourself. But that solves the problem of, whoops, don't burn yourself like I just did, of not having enough pipe cleaner to attach your bow tie. You cut corners, you improvise. Or if you're not in a hurry like I am, leave the pipe cleaner on there and just feed it through. See that? Ta-da! How cute is that, ladies? If you want to maybe add some more ornaments here and there, you can. I have one there and I have one there. I might want to add another one over here because you should, if you're adding ornaments, you should do it in threes. So you have like a triangle. I have one there, I have one there. I think I'm going to stick one there. And I think I have another one in here. I think, unless I just have these. Well, I have this one. It's not sparkly. It's not sparkly like that one, but it'll work. Just to even it out a little bit. I'm just going to stick it right in the mesh here. I have one there, and one there. This one's a little tiny one, but that's okay. And glue stuck all over my fingers. We're losing people here. Everybody's falling asleep. People are dropping like flies. And that's that.
Christina,
Yeah?
it's Susan. I
Hi,
think
my
I'm
dear.
going to have to say good night.
Well, I'm saying good night now, too. So
Okay, well, good night, dear.
We'll all say good night together. How's that?
That's wonderful. I hope you rest well.
Well, thank you, my dear. I hope you do as well. And I think I'm done. So
Okay.
hope everybody
Good.
likes my wreath.
That's beautiful.
Thank you, my dear.
Good
And the
night,
video will be
lady.
sent out to everybody first thing in the morning. Does anybody have any questions? Good night, Susan.
Good night, darling.
Does anybody have any questions at all before I sign off? And this little bow is stuck there. It's not going anywhere. So, and I know I normally did the bow with the buffalo plaid, but I wanted to put a little bow for the truck ribbon there. So I thought that was a nice finishing touch. All right, ladies, thank you for joining me. You guys have a great night. You can unmute yourself if you want to say goodnight. That's fine. Cheryl, when did you have fun? Did you just get here?
Yes.
And we're saying goodnight. I'm sorry. We're all done.
Sorry I missed it.
And this is the ribbon that you sent me, too.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
Doesn't it look nice? That's why I
Yeah.
wanted it.
Love it.
Good night, Christina.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
You guys have a great night.
You too.
All righty. Thank you. Bye-bye.